Hey, what's up, everybody? Mr. Hook.jpg, Instagram name. But here to just kind of explain my journey that I've been getting on over the last few weeks or so. I came back from Paris after doing some amazing fashion photography work, very journalistic in terms of like photojournalism. And I live in Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta for about 20 years. And unfortunately, when I came back, like my inspirations and what I've seen around me, like I did New York and Paris and then came back to Atlanta. So like the whole fashion market in Atlanta is amazing. But I just kind of wanted to change my landscape, change my dynamics a little bit. I've been searching a little bit for film cameras. I've shot on a couple of 35 millimeter Canon cameras. I did like on vacation, just regular stuff, not really much thought into it, just a simple point and shoot. But the other day, my girlfriend went to KEH and purchased me a 645N Pentax. So I have it over here. It's medium format, 120. But a lot of reviews that I've seen on this particular camera has been really dope. People fell in love with it. And I shoot on an A7R4 Sony. And you get in the habit of taking, 1,000 pictures. Like I've been on a shoot and taking 150 pictures of just one person and trying to pick those pictures and edit it and things like that. With this particular one, you only get 16. So it's one of those things where it was like, in terms of photography, it totally changes the way you approach your subject because like you only have 16 shots. So a lot of these street shots I was doing, I only had one chance, and so I went across the street from my house. There's a busy little shopping center, and I was just like, for a week straight, I went and took some street photos just to kind of see how they came out. I shot two rolls, and which is about 36. About those 36, I felt like I got a good amount that I was happy with in terms of photos. But throughout my photography journey, like one thing I have to realize is like calming down on taking pictures. And I think when you calm down and you take like that lethargic, I can't speak to the lethargic approach, to just kind of relaxing and, making sure you're getting your angles right is what this camera really taught me. I really love shooting on film because of that. And I think like I was able to really center my photography a little bit. It made me fall in love with why I started, and why I started was really just to kind of be that person that documents time. 10 years from now, we're going to look at these photos and the world is going to look different, but we're going to be able to see, what the world looks like through these lenses. And I feel like that's the important part of photo for me, is just to make sure I'm able to document, a specific space in time. So I'm gonna go ahead here and just let the reel go of the photos, so you guys can see the photos that I took, and kind of see how I shot. This is my first two rolls ever. This is like my third time shooting um, just on film, period. But here's the work, here's the photos, and you can kind of see how they turn out. I'm really proud of them just because one more thing, like on my camera, the ISO and the shutter speed, you could see what the picture is gonna look like on my regular camera, my mirrorless. But for these particular cameras, like you don't see it until the film gets developed. You don't kind of see what your exposure looks like. That's the hardest thing of shooting on film. So I use an app. It's called Lightmate. You just literally hold it up to your subject, and it kind of positions the f-stop, as well as the aperture for you, and then you can kind of like hint to see how that's gonna look on your camera, and then you can position that on your camera. But either or is kind of like a guessing thing, which is kind of like, man, like film people who only shoot on film, like from way back in the day, like imagine shooting like a whole entire wedding, like you don't know what the exposure looks like, you don't know literally what pictures you're gonna get until after. I know there was like a bunch of times where people shot and they were like, oh damn, these are overexposed, these are things like that. So it's all part of that learning process. That was an unbelievable experience for me. But I don't want to talk too much. Here's the pictures. Once again, Pantax645 and MrHook.jpg on Instagram. And here you are. Feel free to judge as much as possible. You know, it's art, so you know I really don't care on how it comes out. It's mostly my interpretation of whatever I'm shooting. But let me know in the comments what you think, what I could do better, what helps my composition. Just because I constantly want to keep learning and growing. But I appreciate you. My next stop in my film, I'm actually going to Miami on Friday. I gotta go cover some F1 racing with a basketball player, so that's gonna be hella dope. And I know I'm gonna get some dope shots. I'm gonna take my film camera, of course, because I'm gonna do digital too and film. I might put out a YouTube video about that. I'm gonna probably start putting out YouTube videos, events and stuff that I've done, just so you can see. But I appreciate you guys watching, and have a great rest of your day. Today is the first of the month, so go get to it and enjoy yourself, man, and take life as it comes. Just because life is a lot, but I've done too much talking here before.